All right, good morning, traders. Today is July 8th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you so much for subscribing to my content, following my content, liking my content. Thank you, Bob Jordan. Thank you, Kathy, Sarah, and Roasted. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the kind words out there. Thank you. Appreciate that. That helps keep me inspired to continue producing more content. Hey, good morning, Sharon. All right, let's drill down. Let's dig into today's the summary from what happened yesterday. Oh, geez, that's not the one I'm looking for. Okay, hold on just a second. We can take care of that. There we go. All right. All right. Good morning, traders. Thanks for being here. My SPY pivot this morning, a little tongue-tied there, is 621.35. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 are still in daily uptrends. They all made pullbacks yesterday. All made lower highs, lower lows, closing over or inside their bullish traps over their 17 EMA. SPY closed with a 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute uptrend coming right into the close. Gold still in a downtrend but not moving down. Gold made an outside day, closing inside a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Silver still in a daily uptrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing over a bullish trap and over the 17 EMA. USO still in a daily uptrend. USO made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. UNG still in a daily downtrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing under the bearish trap and under its 17 EMA. US dollar index still in a downtrend. We love that. Closed near the 97.32 area. SPY Max Pain, that's for the options that expire today. Supposedly Max Pain's at 620 with a put to call ratio of a little over one put for each call that expires today. All right, so we still got a few more here with the stars on them, all right, that are still in the grinder box. So we'll check out ZS and CRDO. Let's take a peek at those real quick. CRDO, all right, on the daily chart. Okay, still in this grinder box, waiting for a breakout over 94.78. That's the red erases green. Let's take a look at ZS. ZS still in the grinder box, looking for a breakout over 315.67. All right, two of them in the grinder box, looking primed. I like the the higher lows on ZS. CRDO. Let's take one more peek at it. CRDO, not quite the strength that I see in ZS. All right, I like that continued higher lows. You got a higher low here, we had a higher low there, but yesterday we made a lower low. So of the two of them, I think ZS looks really primed for a breakout if we get a bullish day today. All right, so there's ZS, nice little breakout. Where would I expect it to go? Well, right to 320. All right, if it's not at 320, probably up to 325 up there. We'll see what happens. All right, so there's ZS. Let's go take a look at SPY. Take a peek at it on the 10-minute chart. You can see coming into the close, if I zoom in real close here, you got 3 EMA, that's the yellow line, okay, up over the 8 EMA, that's the white line, okay, so we got 3s on top of the 8, got a bullish trap, but that bullish trap was under VWAP here, okay, but it left off with a bullish 10-minute uptrend, driving right into VWAP into the close. On the 2-hour chart, Okay, we'll zoom in here so you can see real close. You can see on the 2-hour chart, the 3, you can take that off. The 3 has crossed under the 8, all right, here, still over the 17, so we have a 2-hour downtrend coming into the close yesterday. Okay, so what's my vision for SPY? I feel like it's kind of peaked out right here, 626, okay, which happened, I think, on the 3rd. And my vision is probably to see it consolidate over the prior all-time high. So anywhere between 623 and 613. All right, that's kind of what I'm looking to see happen. All right, we're geared up today. All right, we did have some negative tariff news yesterday, so I don't know where they're headed. They're right back up. They're holding the highs from after bouncing off of yesterday's lows. They bounced off of 618.90 was support right through here. So they bounced off of support, and they're currently floundering around at 621.30. All right. So I don't know if the remnants from yesterday's news may drive price down to 613. We'll see. About 613.50. We'll see what happens. Market's still very bullish, so I would not be surprised to see price run up here and tackle yesterday's high and possibly fill the gap. All right. So yesterday, so we'll see what We'll see what happens. All right. But here's the game plan this morning. All right. I like 3 days till expiration Friday options on the multiple of 5. All right. So that's 620, 615, 610, 630, 625. You get the idea. Okay. I like 10 days till expiration Friday options. Excuse me. On the multiple of 5. Same thing. Okay. I like Friday because Friday's got more open interest. I like the multiple of 5 because they tend to have more open interest. I like $5 to $15 out of the money calls or puts, either one. All right, whatever the flavor of the day is. Okay, because if we're going down, we want puts. If it's going up, we want calls. Okay, so $5 to $15 out of the money. All right. Now bear in mind, okay, the options that I'm selecting here are conservative and safe. All right. I'll take a peek at it in just a minute. So are conservative and safe. So if you want the very best performing option, all right, and you don't want to be conservative and you're very confident in your trading, okay, the 0 DTE in the money either call or put option is going to be give you better performance. All right, this is to alleviate some risk. All right, giving us more time. All right, in our trade. All right, it helps us fix the trade in case it goes against us. All right, and we're not going to get the performance that we would out of a 0 DTE or a 0 DTE in the money option. All right, we'd get much better performance out of that than we would out of a $5 to $15 out of the money, and 3 days till expiration and 10 days till expiration. All right, so I'm just letting you know that these are the conservative ones because I'm started out a new account. All right, on open house yesterday. Okay, started out a new 27K account. Okay, see if I can dig that up without messing things up here. Okay, so new 27K account. Where is that? I'm going to look for it. Let me see if this is it right here. Okay. New 27K account. All right. And we made profits of $335 yesterday. I think about 335, 334. All right. But I do have some positions because I still believe that SPY goes up to 650. So I do have some long distance calls and some long distance, yes, just some long distance calls. And let me share those with you as well. Let me see if I can do it without messing things up. Okay, so this would be, this is what I'm holding right now. Okay, I've got one. All right, it's a brand new account. All right, I want to make sure I kick myself off and kick it off on the right foot. So I wanted to be conservative about how I start when I trade this, because it's imperative that I start off on the right foot. So I do have some 640 call, 23 days till expiration, 640 call, 17 days till expiration, 635 call, 10 days till expiration. All right. So in case price does go up, and I really foresee price continuing to muscle higher all the way up to 650. We'll see what happens. All right. But I'm still holding those. So you can see, and then I started another account, which was the 5K account. Okay, so I started a 5K account, and we made $82 in the 5K account yesterday. Okay, now the object, all right, for us as traders, we want to make 1% of the account. So for a $5,000 account, the daily goal is 1%. 1% would be $50, okay? We made 82. That's fantastic, okay? Sometimes we're going to make more. Sometimes we may make less, okay? So this is the 5K account. We just made 1% yesterday. That's our goal every day, 1%, all right? Because if you make 1% every single day of your current trading account, all right, and you do that for 70 days straight, you will have doubled your money at the end of 70 days. All right, supposing you have all winning days, okay, and you can get your 1%. So on the 5K account, we got 82. We were supposed to get 50. All right, on the 27K account, all right, we got, I think we got 334 something like that. All right, but I'm still holding some long distance calls over here. Those are swing trades, so I don't count them against me. But currently the account value's at 27,210 right there. Okay, so we were up 300 and we lost some due to the current inventory pulling the or dragging the value of the account down, because these are long distance calls right here. And you can see they decreased in value because price went down and they're calls. All right, so that's what we started yesterday. It was a fabulous day. I want to thank everybody that attended at the open house. Hope a lot of them took new trials. We'll see what happens with that. I think that'd be fantastic. Just showed them all we got to do is make 1% per day. That's it. Okay, so that was our goal yesterday, make 1%. All right, so that's what we started with, was 27K, and we did our job. Okay, and we were done probably about 12:30. All right, we were done for the day at 12:30. All right, so that was pretty cool to be done for the day at 12:30, and then you can take the rest of the day off because you already did your job for the day. Just grab your 1%, and then, if you want to paper trade the rest of the day, paper trade. If you want to live trade, that's your choice. Again, I wouldn't want to risk losing my money in the afternoon and giving it all back to the market. Okay, so there's SPY. All right, that's a 2-hour. You can see we've got a 2-hour downtrend coming into the close. On the daily candle, let's take a peek at that. All right, on the daily candle, you can see, and this is for all of the Fab 5 except for FNGU. Almost all of them except FNGU made lower highs, lower lows, closing inside bullish traps. FNGU just happened to be a little bit more bullish than the rest of the market, and it closed over the bullish trap, okay? So they closed, the other four closed inside a bullish trap over the rising 17, and they are still bullish, okay? You can see price action up here at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish up there. Still in an uptrend, higher lows, higher highs, okay? In order to make a lower low, they'd have to come all the way down here and take out this low at 590, okay? I don't really foresee that happening unless we get a harsh pullback, all right? But right now, everything's still bullish. Look, we're at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish, and we're in an uptrend. So that's looking fantastic on SPY. Okay, SPY's also in a weekly uptrend, and it's also in a monthly uptrend. All right, now my favorite setup for me is I like the 10-minute. I like a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. All right, that's inside of a 2-hour uptrend. That's also inside of a daily uptrend. That's inside a weekly uptrend. That's inside a monthly uptrend over the all-time high anchored VWAP. For me, that's the ultimate setup. We don't have those yet. We didn't have those yesterday. We did have some on Thursday before the 4th of July. That would be the 3rd. Okay, but we don't have any of that today. We may get some of those. May manifest later today. We'll see what happens, all right? Again, I'm still picturing for SPY to pull back to prior all-time high, just above it, probably about 613, all right? We'll see what happens. We got down as low as, I think, almost down to 618 yesterday, all right? So we'll see how much further they want to go deeper after hearing the news of tariffs. All right, so what do I like? I like SPY. You heard the options. Back to the game plan one more time. All right, I went over the options. We got a green erases red entry up here over 623.70. All right, look for a gap fill as a first target, then high of day. All right, then maybe overnight high, and then who knows from there. All right, so look for that. Then look for SPY pivot 621.35. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Okay, we have a red erases green entry underneath. Let me make sure it's right. 619.30. All right, so underneath 619.30, we got a red erases green entry underneath 619.30. And I would be looking for that area right around 613 as a final target low of day if we happen to dig out this price below 619.30 today, okay? Now, I like, it's no secret, all right? I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, all right? I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. This is what we traded yesterday. Excuse me. All right, you see this 3 EMA tucked underneath this 8 EMA right here. We traded this 10-minute downtrend yesterday, and we made money. All right, that's how we made our daily goal. Just trading. We do the same thing every single day. It's no different every single day. We look for either a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP or a 10-minute downtrend under VWAP. And we had a 10-minute downtrend under VWAP. And you can see price action. You can see the candles and the trap peeling away from VWAP. Notice they're all attached right here at the beginning of the day. Now you begin to see separation, all right? See the separation, the brown line. I'll zoom in, see the separation. The brown line right there, that's VWAP. You can see the separation of the trap and the candles. They begin to move further and further away. All right, and then they finally reach support, which was down here about 619.95, and they pull back to VWAP right there. Okay, so there's that's what we like. 10-minute downtrends under VWAP, 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. How you going to enter that, right? All right, well, what I look for, okay, you can drill down to a 5-minute or a 3-minute or on a 10-minute, all right? If I got a downtrend, all right, I'm looking for some place where the bears erase what the bulls have done, okay? So, like right here, the bulls pull up. Well, if the bears get underneath all of those bullish candles, okay, that's be an entry. All right, on a red candle, I'd look for a red candle that spikes below the bottom of what the bulls did. So anytime I see a red wipe out a green candle, all right, or a couple of red candles wipe out a couple of green candles, those are my entries. If you want to know how to enter these, anytime you see red wipe out green, that's an opportunity to enter. Right there. All right, so red wipes out green, jump in. Red wipes out green, jump in. Red wipes out green, opportunity to jump in. Again, and that's how we traded this to the downside. All right, now look for exhaustion candles along the way, okay? So here we had a possible exhaustion move, and then we got another one near the end of the day after 2:30. Okay, so there's price action. What do I like? You already know it. 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. I like them when they're breaking away from VWAP, especially when that trap and the price candles are breaking away from VWAP and starting to go off on their own arc or their own path well above VWAP. I like the 10-minute downtrends under VWAP again. I like them when they're breaking away from VWAP and separating themselves. Lots of money can be made when there's lots of separation. All right, so there's that SPY game plan, okay? Let's look at QQQ game plan. All right, it's going to be about the same thing, okay? So guess what? I like 3 days till expiration Friday options. I like 10 days till expiration Friday options. I like them on the multiple of 5, all right? And I like $5 to $15 out of the money, especially for my new small accounts. All right, I like to take on a little less risk. All right, in order, I know I'm not going to get the performance I would out of a 0 DTE in the money option. Okay, again, I like 10-minute down uptrends over VWAP. I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. We have a green erases red entry up here over 553.90. Look for the gap fill on that one, then high of day, and then overnight high for the third. If you can find that on maybe Wall Street IO or some, if your platform allows you to pull that up. Okay, so QQQ pivot 552.55. Make sure that's right. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Red erases green entry underneath 550.90. All right. So we got red erases green under 550.90. Green erases red over 553.90. QQQ pivot 552.55. All right. Let's look at QQQ on the daily chart. We'll go down here and take a look. As you can see, let me just move this. You can see we got a lower high, lower low. Okay. Almost all the Fab 5 did the same thing. Closing inside a bullish trap over the rising 17, up at the top of quadrant 4, over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. That's a pink line. Okay, so that's bullish. Still in an uptrend with higher lows and higher highs. FNGU. We'll go on to the next one. Okay, so FNGU, a little more bullish than the others. All right, lower high, lower low, but closing over a bullish trap and over the 17, up at the top of quadrant 4, that's bullish. Again, over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line, still in an uptrend, higher lows, higher highs, and that's bullish up there, FNGU. Okay, just because we had a red day yesterday doesn't mean everything is broken, okay? We're still bullish. We're still in uptrends, all right? Let's take a look at IWM. Again, lower high, lower low, closing inside, bullish trap over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, still hanging on to that upper third, so that's bullish. All right, still in an uptrend with higher lows and higher highs. IWM still bullish, still in an uptrend. Diamond down. Lower high, lower low, closing in the trap over the 17. Quadrant 4, that's bullish over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, everything got higher lows, higher highs, still in an uptrend, still bullish on diamond down. Okay, when they start closing candles underneath the 17, all right, that's when things could start falling apart. All right. Right now, everything still looks fantastic, and they've got a lot of wiggle room before they start closing candles underneath the 17. All right, we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at, what do I want to look at? Technicals. T2122. You can see we came out of the overbought zone that we were in on the 3rd of July. Okay, we went right down into the buyer's chop zone. Made a brief appearance inside the buy zone here. Spent the rest of the day inside the buyer's chop zone, just over the midpoint. That would be the bullish side of the midpoint right there. And we made an appearance inside the seller's chop zone, just a brief appearance in there, and then found our way back to the buyer's chop zone, showing us a little mini on the 15-minute chart, inverse head and shoulders there, right? So maybe trip back to the buy zone this morning. We'll see what happens. Maybe they can hold the higher ground. We'll see what happens here. All right, so there's T21 22, all right, on the 15-minute chart. Let me move this around just a little bit. Let's take a look at T21 23. All right, you can see price action for the 7th. That's yesterday. Now look at them hold the higher ground up here. Okay, that takes an incredible amount of energy to do that. That's like holding a plank for 6 hours. Okay, that's hard to do. Okay, now you can see a little red green. Okay, so looking like they had a couple margaritas, a tequila shot, followed by a couple of cervezas. All right, so price action right through here. All in all, bullish, holding that higher ground. Look at the bullish gap up that was never even filled yesterday. Okay, that right there, even though you see those red candlesticks there, that right there is bullish, holding that higher ground all the way up there. That takes a lot of energy to do that. All right, so as you can see, price or data up over the 200, the rising 200 SMA, that's bullish. You can see holding that bullish gap open. That's bullish. Look at this bullish gap still open. Another bullish gap still open. A lot of bullish gaps still open here. Okay, price action up over the rising 200 SMA. That's bullish. Up over this. This is a prior all-time high. That's a prior all-time high. This, if we get on top of this, we will negate the daily downtrend. All right, if we get up on top of that. So T2123 making higher lows and higher highs, still in an uptrend, still bullish up there. 3-bar chart, same product, 3-bar chart. 3 more green candle bars up there. 3 more. All right, still holding the bullish gap open. Okay, we got a low, we're making higher lows. We got a high, we're making higher highs, still in an uptrend. Okay, up over this hooking 200 SMA. All right, we like that. If they get on top of this area right here, they negate the daily downtrend. Nice attack on it. Look like they're working on probably the daily. Don't do this to me. All right, we'll go back. All right, so data's coming in slow, I guess, this morning. Let's try FNGU. Come on. There we go. All right. Boy, that was scary. All right. I'm in the middle of my video. I don't need that to happen. All right, so there's FNGU on the 15-minute chart. All right, you can see the 3-bar chart here for this. Still looking fantastic. All right, up over that 200, still bullish, still in an uptrend. FNGU, yesterday's price action. All right, you can see selling from the beginning of the day almost to the end of the day. Looks like they took some time off, had some shots right here and here. Other than that, they're up over the 200 SMA. That's still bullish. Notice the bullish gap never got filled. All right, that is a bullish clue that we're still bullish up here. Okay, holding this higher ground, that's still bullish. We're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP and the uptrend line right there. That's FNGU. All right, we're going to go look at a few sectors. Start off XLE first. Okay, here's XLE. Did you guys lose? You guys lost me? All right, let me refresh. Business. All right, we're back. All right, so we're going to look at XLE. This is the energy sector. Okay, price action yesterday in the energy sector. Lower high, lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over the 17. That's bullish. Okay, you can see price action move up, give it up. So that's neutral. You can see price action move down, give it up. That's neutral. So we're hanging out here at the midpoint of the quad lines underneath this all-time high anchored VWAP. Price action is just neutral through here, okay? It's not in the lower third. That would be bearish. It's not in the upper third. That would be bullish. All right, we're still in an uptrend. All right, just not able to hold the higher ground at this time. Still struggling to hold the higher ground. Still in an uptrend because we're making higher lows and higher highs. You can see price action over downtrend line 2, but under downtrend line 1. I had a clue that we were going back because we were holding the higher ground yesterday, coming into the close as price went up there to tag the area up by VWAP. I had an idea that we were headed back towards VWAP, and it's normal for price to return to VWAP. All right, yeah, I bought those 0 DTEs. Wish I'd have held on to them, yeah, because I think I bought them for 3 cents a share, and at the very last minute, I think they reached 21 cents a share. That would have been, that would have been a 700% increase in profit right there. Buying them at 3 and exiting at 21. So that would have been really nice. But I had to start the video, and I didn't want to chance it. It was a new account. I will take some chances with a new account, but I don't want to risk a lot. I want to build it up. That way I have some extra capital to risk. All right, so there's XLE, just neutral through there. Let's take a look at USO. USO, higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap over the 17. That's bullish. Over the 3-year high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line. Okay, so that's bullish. Actually, back in the upper third here. Okay, so USO is bullish up there and still in an uptrend. Higher lows, higher highs. Just unable to hold the higher ground, but making a return appearance back up here in the upper third. So that's bullish up there, still in an uptrend, and up over that 3-year high anchored VWAP. UNG on the flip side, all right, it's in a downtrend. You can see we've got a head and shoulders pattern. You got right shoulder, these 2 tops right here. Left shoulder, these 2 tops right here. Triple crown up top here, that would be the head. You can see price action all the way down here in quadrant 1. Okay, so that's bearish, and you can see price making lower highs. See the lower highs and lower lows. See the low and making lower lows. So that's a downtrend on UNG and showing a head and shoulders pattern. Possibly going to come down here and visit the all-time low right down here, which is pretty close to 1250. We'll see what happens. That's UNG. GLD's in a downtrend, but not really moving down. Yesterday's candle, lower high, excuse me, outside day. Higher high and lower low, but we closed inside a bullish trap. You can barely see it, but we closed inside that bullish trap that's under this 17 EMA, and we closed over the all-time high anchored VWAP. You can see price action move up, hold the higher ground. That is a bullish environment. Whenever you can see price hold that higher ground, okay, that's quadrant 4, that's bullish. We're in a downtrend, we're not moving down, all right, so that's helpful, all right, and we're holding the higher ground up there, okay. So there's GLD on the daily chart, still bullish, but technically in a downtrend, because they made a low here and they made a lower low, all right. But the good news is they're moving up instead of down, okay. So there's GLD, that's bullish. SLV, okay, SLV moving up just like GLD, holding the higher ground. It's still in an uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. This is a 12-year high right here from back in November of last year. Okay, so you can see this is these are 12-year highs right here, not all-time highs, but 12-year highs up here. It's in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs, and up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish, closing over that bullish trap over the 17. So there's silver, bullish and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at a few sectors. Take a look at SMH. SMH up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish and in an uptrend. XLK up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish over the all-time high anchored VWAP and in an uptrend. XLF, okay, up here top of quadrant 4, bullish and in an uptrend. XLF. IYT up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, making higher lows and higher highs up over that all-time high anchored VWAP. So we got everything that's necessary to have a robust rally. Okay, actually a rally on up to 650. You've got transports are in an uptrend and bullish. Technology and semiconductors are in an uptrend and bullish. All right, and then you've got the financials are in an uptrend and bullish. All right, and then we've got a falling dollar. All right, and on top of that, we have the mega big cap stocks from the FNGU. They're in making new all-time highs. They're in an uptrend and bullish. Okay, so we'll see how far this rally goes. I just want to say that everything is in place to have a really robust rally. Okay, this would be the relief rally coming back from the prior highs up here. That's the relief rally. But for some of the products, they're up over the all-time highs and headed higher. So they could have, like I said, we could have a robust rally with some new all-time highs, even though some of them have already made some new all-time highs. So there's IYT. Let's take a look at the economic package. All right, for the dollar, you can see here's the dollar. All right, and the last time we were down here was 3 years ago, back in 2022. All right, so this is a 3-year low. All of this area right through here, I'm going to draw a line. Okay, all of this area right through here, okay, that was major support. Okay, that consolidation. We broke major support, so now this turns into minor resistance, and you can see we moved down, making lower highs and lower lows, and into a bear flag, and now we are breaking down and lower out of that bear flag. Okay, so you can see price action tried to get back up on top of what was once major support, and they failed right here. Notice they failed, and from the failure came a lower low, manifested a lower low down here, as you can see. So this is at a 3-year low on the dollar. Now for consumer, it sucks, all right, because that means your dollar's weak. That means your dollar's not going to be the strength that it had. It's not going to buy as much as it used to 2 years ago or from last year, okay? It means it's going to buy a whole lot less, all right? But for the investor, this dollar, weak dollar, helps to open up new markets and makes American companies or USA companies more competitive when they go to sell products and services on the global in the global markets. All right. So what was once maybe unaffordable before because the dollar was too rich, now becomes affordable, and you never know. Then what happens is you get a bump in GDP because we're selling more goods and services out of the country. In other words, we're exporting more goods and services, all right, which means higher sales. Anytime you open up new markets, all right, that's more revenue, and hopefully more revenue transcends into more profits, which transcends into a higher price for that security. So we have everything that's necessary for a really robust rally up to 650. Then, not to mention, with all that going on, okay, we got the AI boom that's happening now, okay? That is the talk of the town. AI this, AI that, okay? We could see an AI bubble, all right? And with that AI bubble could take SPY clear up to maybe 635, maybe, maybe clear up to 735, maybe even 750. All right, I'm just saying, with that AI bubble that's out there. Okay, a lot of AI is something that was not available to us before, but now it is. All right, and people are using it more and more, and they're putting demands on these AI companies. A lot of them offer it for free. Some of them are charging for it. It all depends what you want and what you get. All right, so there's the dollar. Dollar is in a downtrend. Okay, SPY Max Pain. Let's go take a look at that. We got earnings coming up. I think next week we got financials. All right, Max Pain for today for SPY, just for SPY options. 620 is Max Pain supposedly, and about 1.1 put to each call that expires today. Remember, those index options expire at 4:15. Okay, so on the earnings calendar, nothing this week that's going to move the markets. There's some familiar names, but nothing that's really going to move the markets. You can see they're wrapping up the season for earnings, and they're almost ready to start a new one. Okay, so again, familiar names, nothing that's going to move the markets. Here's Thursday, Delta Airlines, we've all heard of them. Okay, WD-40, we've all heard of them. Okay, again, familiar names, nothing that's really got enough market cap to move the markets. All right, may make a twinge inside their sectors, but nothing that's really going to disturb the markets. Okay, Friday, excuse me, same thing. Familiar names, nothing to really move the markets here. Okay, economic calendar. Yesterday we had no economic data at all. Today, what do we got for today? We got NFIB Small business optimism index came out at 6 in the morning. Other than that, that's it. Consumer credit at 3. Wednesday, we got MBA mortgage applications at 7 in the morning. That's tomorrow. Wholesale inventories, 10 o'clock. I got a petroleum report at 10:30. That's normal. FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Okay. I don't really foresee FOMC having an impact until we get news on the tariffs. And we're starting to get some trickling news coming in now. So we'll see. Maybe FOMC becomes a headliner this week. And that's tomorrow at 2 p.m. All right. So we'll see what happens with that. We're getting more news coming out from the tariffs as to who's going to get a tariff and who's not. We'll see what happens, all right, as the news trickles in here. Thursday, all right, jobless claims 8:30, gas report. That's a natural gas report at 10:30, okay? And then Fed balance sheet. Again, light day. Really light week this week, all right? And I got to say, I don't think they're going to have anything wrapped up as far as tariffs go or as far as trade deal goes. So I think wherever the market wants to go this week, I don't think there's anything to obstruct it other than news of tariffs. That's about the only thing that could destroy a bull market is the news of tariffs, all right? Other than that, I think we're still in a bull market, and we could go higher up to 650, all right, as long as we don't get news of, more tariffs. That's it right there. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys in about 35, 40 minutes. Oh, there was a few questions. Okay. How did I know it was going back to VWAP yesterday on SPY? I think I answered that. And the exhaustion candle right here. This see how you can take these candles, Fido, and stack the bodies on top of each other. And notice it was an equal exhaustion move right here. All right, right into support, which was 618.90. And typically after hitting support, you're going to bounce back to VWAP to see if price can get on top of it. All right, so not only exhaustion, but spiking right into support, and then we bounced off of it to create, you can see, a slightly higher high right there over that peak, over the exhaustion, and that's how I knew we were kind of headed back towards VWAP, okay? This exhaustion move here at 230, I don't know if you remember, I had up there that because of the 9 days straight up, I would expect the down move, all right, or the pullback to last till 2 o'clock, all right, and it ended at 2:30 right there, which is a normal reversal time, okay? Fido, maybe you don't know it, 2:30 is a normal reversal time to watch for reverses to manifest at 2:30, okay? So that exhaustion move right into support and right into reversal time, I had a hunch it was headed back towards VWAP. Now somebody else asked one other question. Jim, what is a VWAP on your 2-hour chart? Yes, 2-hour chart is at 2-hour, and I think I was over here. All right, this VWAP is at 613.60 right there, Jim. All right, 613.60, which is roughly just over the prior all-time high. Okay, so, and that's from this rally low down there. Okay, so that's kind of my target if they want to continue moving further south. All right, on that 2-hour chart. All right, everybody, I'll see you guys. It is anchored to this low right here on the double bottom right here on the 23rd at 2 p.m. That tail candle before you get the green erases red. See how we gap up over all of that? Probably some news right there. Okay, so I anchored it to that tail right there on the 23rd. Yeah, it was like a pullback low right there and then rip up. All right, I'll see you guys in like 30 minutes, all right? And we'll open up the markets, all right? Okay, we're looking for 10-minute uptrends. Oh, yeah? Let's look at the pre-market. You can see we're consolidating up here. All right, so we're going to mark off the high. We're going to mark off the low. All right, and we're going to look for the breakout of either one. Okay, other than that, it looks like they're just waffling back and forth across the pivot. Okay, so we're going to look out for a breakout on either side. All right, in addition to marking off the first 15 minutes. Okay, so we'll look for a break of the pre-morning lows and the pre-morning highs. Look for a breakout to trade the breakout. Okay, and there's SPY. All right, that's the plan. Trade the breakout. Be careful on that upside breakout. We're still in a 2-hour downtrend. Okay, be careful on the upside one. All right, and that's it right there. All right, I'll see you in about 30 minutes.